Hello and welcome back to No Bullshit. Today we're talking about American singer and supposed pop star Halsey, who's been making the rounds in the news this week with her latest and greatest SJW passion project. This time, Halsey has taken on the problematic toiletries at hotel rooms. That's right, Halsey thinks hotels are being racist when they provide their customers with shampoo that supposedly is tailored to white people. Talk about first world problems, huh? God damn. Is there anything these snowflakes won't complain about and say is racist? Also, newsflash, hotel shampoo isn't just shitty for minorities. White people don't like their hair care products either. That's why no one really uses them. Most people bring their own shampoo and conditioner on trips into hotels, especially people with specific and particular hair needs. Halsey makes enough money, she could afford this, and Halsey definitely never should have expected hotel shampoo to be excellent in the first place. This is ridiculous. But let's go ahead and take a look at the tweet that sparked this controversy anyway. Coming from the official Twitter account of Halsey, it reads, "I've been traveling for years now, and it's been so frustrating that the hotel toiletry industry entirely alienates people of color. I can't use this perfumed, watered-down white people shampoo. Neither can 50% of your customers. Annoying." Well, that's pretty funny because Halsey, you know what? You white as hell, girl. Quit acting like you're something special when you're really not. Not to say being white isn't special, but you know how these SJWs think. They think being white is normal and plain, so they all pretend to be minorities when they can't. And also, this Halsey chick is just virtue signaling here to the max. She not only wants to wave and say, "Hey, blacks and browns, I'm with ya," and pretend she's got their back on this so not important issue. Well, it's not only that, but Halsey's also trying to pretend she's not white. She's the Rachel Dolezal of the music industry. And don't think I'm just exaggerating this here. I mean this literally. Halsey has tried to claim other races before. The BET website covered the original story about this back in August. In an article they called "Singer Halsey Says She's a Black Woman," and the internet has questions. Well, I have a couple questions too. Firstly, why the fuck does this white girl think she's black? We already went over why she wants to claim to be black. Left-wingers love the victim points. And according to their social justice propaganda, blacks are the eternal victims of racism, and that explains everything wrong that's ever happened to them. And that's why Halsey wants to be one, to get that sympathy. And Halsey was even quoted back then as saying, "I look like a white girl, but I don't feel like one." She explained more, "I'm a black woman, so it's been weird navigating that. When I was growing up, I didn't know if I was supposed to love TLC or Britney." Well, honey, you're not supposed to love anything, and one's race shouldn't play that big a role in what music you like. Not like this. But you know what? Actually, it is very much like this with these out-of-control, wannabe communist SJWs like Halsey, who thinks she's black because she feels so black. Sure, she may have a half-black father, but being a quarterback white girl means nothing. I mean, being a quarter black white girl don't mean nothing. And anyone looking like Halsey claiming to be a black woman has got an agenda. They got some tricks up their sleeve, clearly. But back to the original shampoo story. An article from the New York Daily News has more info on it. It's called "Halsey Says Hotels Only Provide White People Shampoo." Check this shit out. Pop star Halsey is bringing attention to an issue she and many others face when staying at hotels. The Bad at Love singer shared her frustration over the lack of shampoo options provided by hotel companies, saying they cater their hair care products to only white people. You know what? Let's look at this a different way for a minute. How about we take another angle at this complaint? Depending on where Halsey is traveling, hotels having white people shampoo could make a lot of sense. I mean, I would assume most of Halsey's concert tours go around the United States or Canada, Europe, maybe Australia, which are all white majority countries. Let's face facts. Halsey's not touring the Congo or Namibia. She doesn't have any tour dates in Nigeria that I've seen. So, assuming this shampoo is even focused on white people to begin with, her complaint still falls flat when you think about the numbers and where she's traveling. These hotels are in white majority countries, and having a shampoo that caters to the general population makes sense. I mean, does Halsey really expect these companies to provide special accommodations to a minority group that makes up less than 13% of the population? And on top of that, I'm willing to bet blacks are less likely to stay at these fancy hotels, the ones Halsey goes to. No offense, but they just aren't as likely to be there. So expecting these hotels to have a special shampoo for people who aren't very likely to be there is pretty retarded. And that's not even mentioning the obvious fact about shampoo. It's not going to kill anyone to use hotel shampoo for a night or two. At worst, your hair might get dry or frizzy, but is that really the end of the world? If it is, I mean, there are some other very simple options to fix that too. Like I said before, you could bring your own hair care products, or you could just wash your hair with water, no soap. Hell, you could even skip washing your hair for the night. Live a little. It's certainly not going to kill you. Don't worry. Next article goes over Halsey's shampoo tweet again. We already read this, but the part where she mentions the 50% of hotel customers can't use the shampoo, this is making less and less sense now, right? I mean, first of all, minorities aren't 50% of the countries, and they're probably not even a full 40% they are like in the United States. They're not the full 40% of the guests, not at these main fancy hotels that Halsey goes to. And also, I double checked Halsey's touring schedule, which does in fact include a lot of predominantly white areas, mostly in the US and Europe overall. And look at some of these cities included in her upcoming tour dates: Napa Valley, Rosemont, Illinois, Milwaukee, Rhode Island. Those are some of the whitest places in the whole damn country. So let's face it, Halsey is a white singer who tours predominantly white cities, playing to her white audience. And the hotels she stays at are most likely very white too. So expecting these places to have hotels stocked with neat shampoos for minorities is just plain silly. It doesn't make sense logically or business-wise either. But back to the article. That initial tweet by Halsey, whose father is African American and mother is white, garnered a range of responses from her followers, prompting the singer to open up a larger discussion on the matter. Wow, I can't believe the author and the Daily News is humoring this nonsense so much. The world doesn't need a larger discussion on hotel shampoos. I can think of a million better, more pressing matters to discuss. Or even just something more interesting, like talking about a movie like the new Avengers one. And before you go to the comments and talk about me discussing this hotel shampoo situation and maybe being a hypocrite for saying this, well, Halsey started it. And that reminds me, Halsey's dad is half African American at best. Yet the article glosses over that. Further proof that some wicked identity politics are at play here. First, her half-black dad is made honorary full black, which bumps Halsey up to half black, which should be sufficient for her to get the full black credit too. Too bad the rest of us in the real world have eyeballs and we can see Halsey is clearly a white girl, even if she technically is a quarter black or whatever. She sure doesn't look like it, that's for sure. And this also makes her black virtue signaling even more cringy, unfortunately. She refuted several people's arguments that hotel shampoos are generally just cheap and not tailored to a specific type of hair, and was forced to correct one tweeter who tried to say she's one of the white people. Yep, sorry Halsey, as much as you want to be the Sean King of modern music, you're still a no-good dirty white girl, and it's time to face the music, pun intended. Why is it so bad to just be white anymore anyway? I don't see anything wrong with it. White Americans and our European ancestors have great long storied histories and accomplishments. Sure, there's some mistakes in there too. There's been some colonizing and some enslaving, but come on, I mean, every civilization, race, and kingdom ever is guilty of that at some point. So there's no reason to be more ashamed of being white because of American slavery, when blacks and browns have just as much in their histories too. Unfortunately for us though, most people don't know about the dark and troubled past of the Zulus in Africa, because not only is that a world away from here in America, it's also a story that's not been highlighted and thrown in the black people's faces over and over again, still to this day. Not the way the SJWs do to Europeans and Americans, giving us shit for our colonialism and slavery histories. Halsey also quickly shot down another user who questioned the point she was trying to make. How can you have lived your entire life without knowing that people of color and white people require different hair care products? Halsey tweeted. Halsey, 23, pointed out that some people may not have the luxury of being able to pay for their own shampoos to bring to hotels like she is, before explaining the shampoo issue goes beyond hotel bathrooms. If you're traveling and buying hotel rooms, you should also be able to afford a $5 bottle of shampoo if needed. If you can't and this shampoo is absolutely necessary, then that person should just stay home. Traveling isn't for the weak, and it's certainly not for the cheap or poor either. Halsey appears to be very entitled here, and also very naive. It does say she's only 23 after all, and it looks like we're diving into the mind of an early 20s, mixed race, wannabe black white girl who's bought into all the victimhood, social justice warrior stories and propaganda. And it's truly sad to watch such weakness and insecurity, and also just plain stupidity. Like, what the fuck, Halsey? Things get even weirder here when she starts to talk about her time at a psych ward. That's right, Halsey isn't just acting a little crazy, she's been officially declared out of her mind before. Check this part out. It's not just hotels, she tweeted. I stayed in a psychiatric hospital as a teenager, and they didn't have hair products for any patients who were POC, people of color. It's hard enough being in there as it is, but then you're gonna too feel ugly and dry and frizzy too? Nah. Anyways, y'all just missing the point. Laugh out loud. Wow. Just wow. I know Halsey thinks this is cute and she thinks she'll get even more victim points for referencing her time in a psych ward, but damn girl, you crazy. Literally. And not that people can't bounce back from this, but this Halsey chick, she already seemed a few screw loose. And this is just further confirmation. First, she claimed to be a black woman last year. She went all over the news and internet saying she's some race that she doesn't even look like. And now, since then, she faded from the spotlight a bit. But Halsey sure found a way to get attention now. And her new way is by virtue signaling, I love the blacks. Let's get special shampoos for minorities in hotels and hospitals. What a fucking joke. In the end, this is a non-issue which needs no further discussion. Hotel shampoo is shitty for everyone, usually. If you don't like it and you need something special for yourself, bring it with you. Or just don't travel. These are the real options. It's really that simple. And as for Halsey, well, she was never really a big deal to begin with. Her music is okay, sometimes. She had a few good songs, but they were mostly collaborations with other better artists. Sure, I wouldn't mind seeing her sing a song or two again in the future, but this SJW virtue signaling nonsense just needs to stop. Stick to what you know, Halsey. You're okay at singing and you're pretty easy on the eyes too, but your politics and social stances are just garbage. What do you guys think? Are hotels' cheap shampoos problematic? Is it racist shampoo made for white people? Or is it just shitty for everyone? And is Halsey still crazy? And can she sing very good to begin with? Comment your thoughts on everything below, and thanks for watching No Bullshit. See y'all next time.